Have you ever noticed we chase happiness like a thirsty traveler in the desert, forgetting that a fresh spring has been flowing inside us all along? We scroll through social media, compare our lives with everyone else's, and whisper to ourselves, "If only I had that. If only I achieved this, then I'd be happy." But 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosophers left us a simple reminder. Happiness isn't a destination. Happiness is the road you walk every day. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Some things are in our control, some things are not." Peace begins with that choice. So how do we live in that spirit? Today, I want to share with you 7 Stoic principles, simple but powerful enough to change your whole day. 1. Live in harmony with nature. You can curse the rain or breathe in the scent of wet earth and let it become a quiet moment of stillness. Suffering begins with resistance. Peace begins with acceptance. When you learn to accept nature, your heart feels lighter. 2. Take the view from above. Picture yourself as an eagle soaring above the clouds, looking down at the tiny city below. Suddenly, the problem you obsessed over is nothing more than a grain of sand. From above, worries shrink, and you realize you don't need to control it all. 3. Let go of control. You can't control what people say. You can't control the weather. You can't control the future. But you can choose your attitude, your response, and how you spend the hours of your day. Letting go isn't loss. It's freedom. It clears space for you to build the one thing no one can take away: inner strength. 4. Build inner values. Achievements fade, money fades, looks fade, but character, kindness, and the daily work of becoming better, that's the root of peace. And once you're steady inside, you'll see pain differently. Not as an enemy, but often as the greatest teacher. 5. Turn pain into purpose. Losing a job, failing, heartbreak. It could be the end, or the beginning of a new chapter. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Walk through the darkness, and you'll discover even one breath, one ordinary moment, is precious beyond measure. That's when gratitude begins. 6. Practice gratitude. Every breath is a gift. Every sunrise is a miracle. Each night, write down 3 things you're grateful for. It plants seeds of joy in the mind. Gratitude keeps you present. But to build lasting peace, the Stoics had one more secret: start with your mornings. 7. Own your mornings. The first 30 minutes of the day are the garden of your soul. What you plant there, calm or chaos, will shape the entire day. Happiness doesn't fall from the sky. It grows from choice, daily choice. And you right now hold the power to plant it. So what will you plant today? A seed of peace, of freedom, of gratitude. In the end, life is not decided by what happens to you. It's decided by how you choose to live each day. The Stoics remind us, happiness is not something you find, it's something you build. If this message speaks to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to follow, so together we can keep planting seeds of peace in this world. How many nights have you lost sleep over something small? One careless comment, one email left unanswered, one worry spinning in your head. And yet by morning, you look back and realize it wasn't as big as it felt. The Stoics had a name for this: the view from above. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, would often imagine looking at Earth from space. From that distance, people were nothing more than tiny, glittering specks. And when you see life that way, every argument, every loss, every fear shrinks into something unbelievably small. It sounds simple, but the Stoics believed when anxiety closes in, step away from the details and look at the bigger picture. Joy passes, sadness passes. Success and failure, they're just waves on the surface of the ocean. Waves rise, waves fade, but the ocean remains, vast, still, unmoved. So instead of drowning in every moment, look with the eyes of the ocean, wide, steady, and calm. Next time you feel stressed, close your eyes. Imagine standing on top of a mountain. Below you, the city. Cars honking, people rushing, arguments flaring. From up high, just tiny movements. Or take yourself even further. Picture floating in space, looking down at our blue planet. Billions of people, loving, hurting, hoping. And you, just one small piece of that vast mosaic. Then ask yourself, in 5 years, 10 years, will this still matter? That one question opens a wide space in your mind where peace can finally step in. This exercise feels simple, but it's a release. It pulls you out of the feeling of being stuck. It gives you room to breathe. And most of all, it awakens gratitude. Because when you look from above, you see what matters isn't money or winning arguments. It's love. It's kindness. It's being fully present with the people who matter most. And when the heart is full of gratitude, the little worries fade on their own. Think about being stuck in traffic, horns blaring, frustration building. But if in that moment you imagine the traffic from above, it's just a stream of tiny cars, and you're just one drop in that flow. Suddenly, the anger melts. You breathe slower, and maybe you realize you've been handed a few minutes to listen to music, to think, or simply to notice life moving around you. Life, when seen too close, feels heavy. But take a step back, look from above, and every worry becomes just another small ripple on a vast ocean. The Stoics remind us what truly matters is not the petty collisions of daily life. It's the peace you carry in your heart. It's the love you share with the world. And maybe the view from above is the path that brings you back to simple, present happiness. Now think about control. Have you ever tried to hold sand in your hand? The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Life is the same. The more we try to control everything, the more exhausted we become, and happiness slips further from reach. The Stoics had a simple answer: learn to let go. Epictetus, once a slave, later a philosopher, wrote, "Some things are within our power, some things are not." Obvious maybe, but live by it, and your inner world will change completely. Think about today's worries, what people think of you, tomorrow's weather, the past that's already gone, the outcome of something that hasn't even happened yet. All of it, beyond your control, and yet we cling to it. The result: stress, frustration, burnout. It's not life itself that drains us. It's fighting to control the uncontrollable. The Stoics didn't teach indifference. They taught us to choose the right battlefield. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You can't make people like you, but you can live with integrity and let time speak for itself. You can't rewrite the past, but you can learn from it and walk stronger in the present. Picture yourself in traffic again, a line of cars not moving. Two choices. 1, slam the steering wheel, curse, complain. 2, accept, I can't clear the road, and turn that moment into a gift. Play a podcast. Take a few deep breaths. Let your mind rest. Same situation. 2 completely different lives. The Stoics called this the Stoic pivot, the moment you catch yourself trying to control the uncontrollable and shift your focus to what you can control. Not, it should be sunny, but it's raining, so I'll grab my jacket. Not, they have to love me, but I'll love honestly. And give them freedom. That's not giving up. That's moving from illusion to reality. When you let go, relationships get lighter. Conflicts shrink. You accept more. You feel freer. And most importantly, you save your energy for the only thing you truly control: your own mind, your own response. That is where peace lives. You can't command the waves to stop, but you can learn to surf. You can't control everything, but you can always control yourself. The Stoics teach happiness doesn't come from holding the whole world. It comes from letting go and finding freedom in your own mind. And finally, self-worth. Have you ever let one small insult ruin your entire day? One compliment, you're soaring. One criticism, you're crushed. That's life on an emotional roller coaster. Up, down, unpredictable, exhausting. But the Stoics whisper, real value isn't out there. It's inside you. Today, happiness is tied to conditions. How much money you make, what you achieve, how many likes you get, how you look in other people's eyes. But all of that can vanish overnight. One crisis, one failure, one harsh opinion. If your worth depends on those things, you're trapped in a game with no finish line. Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having many things, but in needing few. It's not just about possessions, it's about freedom. When you need less, when you're not chained to praise or approval, you're finally free. Marcus Aurelius wrote, happiness comes from within your own soul. No one can give it. No one can take it away. That's liberation. When you stop chasing value in the world's eyes, you find it in your character, your effort, and your growth each day. Imagine finishing a big project. If people cheer, you feel good. If they ignore it, you feel deflated. But with Stoic wisdom, you ask, does my worth lie in their reaction? Or in the dedication I put into the work? That answer will change how you see yourself. The Stoics practiced simple exercises. Reflect on your core values. Write down 3 things that define you, things no one can take away. Find joy in the process. Don't just ask, did I win? Ask, what did I learn along the way? Turn failure into feedback. Don't condemn yourself when you fall. Treat it as a signpost, small practices. But day by day, they build a foundation no storm can shake. When your worth is anchored inside, you need less validation. You're freer. You can love others without demanding they fill your emptiness because you're already whole. That's a peace no money, no fame can buy. Life will keep changing. Some days you'll be praised, some days ignored, some days loved, some days misunderstood. But if your foundation is inside, you'll stand firm through it all. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics knew happiness isn't when the whole world agrees you have value. Happiness is knowing deep in your own heart that you're living true, becoming your best self step by step. Maybe the greatest freedom in life isn't doing everything. It's no longer asking, am I good enough in their eyes, but quietly answering, am I living true to my soul? If this message resonates, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to follow, so together we can plant more peace and meaning in this life. Do you believe that pain might be the greatest gift life ever gives you? It might come as loss, a failure, a door slammed shut right in front of you. In that moment, it feels like pain equals misery. But to the Stoics, pain is not the end. It can be the doorway to purpose. Epictetus once said, "Don't explain your philosophy, live it." And to live it means this: even your darkest days become material for growth. The Stoics drew a sharp line: pain, suffering. Pain is real, a cut on your skin, a loss in your heart. But suffering, that's how we interpret the pain. A broken bone doesn't kill you. It's the thought, "I'm doomed, I'm unlucky, I can't go on," that makes it unbearable. So the Stoics gave us a formula to turn pain into purpose. Acknowledge reality without judgment. Pain is real. Loss is real. Don't deny it. Separate what you can and cannot control. You can't change the past, but you can change your response. Ask the growth question. How will this make me stronger, wiser, or kinder? Imagine losing your job. The natural reaction is fear, anxiety, feeling worthless. But the Stoic pauses, takes a breath, and asks, "What is this teaching me?" Maybe it's a chance to learn a new skill. Maybe it opens a path truer to your values. Maybe it forces you to stop living by others' expectations and start living by your own. Every time you turn a setback into growth, you forge another layer of emotional strength. Like steel tempered in fire, the more cracks, the more heat, the stronger it becomes. Life is the same. Pain used well becomes fuel for a life of deeper purpose. Think about it. The greatest writers often carried loss. Their pain became stories that healed others. The best teachers often stumbled first, but because they suffered, they could guide their students with wisdom and compassion. Pain didn't crush them. It gave them a language and a power that peaceful days never could. You can't avoid all pain, but you can choose to make it part of your journey. Pain is real, but misery only comes when we refuse to learn the lesson it carries. The Stoics remind us every wound can become a carving, a mark of the soul's growth. Maybe lasting happiness doesn't come from easy days. It comes from walking out of the darkness with a heart that is stronger, wiser, and kinder. If this message speaks to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to follow, so together we can plant more peace and strength along this journey. But let me ask you, have you ever taken a miracle for granted? You open your eyes, you breathe, your heart is still beating, and yet you forget. That's already a miracle. We spend so much time chasing what we don't have, we overlook the treasure already in our hands. The Stoics gave us a simple reminder: practice gratitude. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you rise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. You don't need to wait to be rich. You don't need to wait to be perfect. Just pause and notice your heart still beats. Your eyes still see the sky. Your breath still moves in and out. These are unconditional gifts. Stoic gratitude is not about saying thank you only when life is smooth. It's deeper. It's steadier. They were grateful simply for being alive. Even in chaos, even in pain, the raw experience of life itself was a privilege. Sounds strange. Sometimes the Stoics imagined losing what they loved, not to torture themselves, but to sharpen appreciation. Close your eyes and ask, if tomorrow I lost my sight, what would I miss most? If I lost my health, what would I long to do again? That exercise wakes us up. We see how precious the ordinary really is. The Stoics went further. They were grateful even for challenges, because struggle doesn't only hurt, It strengthens roots. It sharpens the mind. It expands the heart. A storm may break branches, but it forces the tree's roots to dig deeper. We are the same. Gratitude doesn't require rituals. It can start with a small notebook. Each night before bed, write 3 things you're grateful for. One big thing like family, one medium thing like today's work, one small thing like your morning coffee. Then imagine losing them. You'll feel your heart stir in a new way. Modern science even confirms it. Gratitude reshapes the brain, making it tilt naturally toward the positive. When you train the lens of gratitude, you stop obsessing over what's missing and start noticing the abundance around you. You stop fighting hardship and start seeing it as a teacher. Most of all, gratitude pulls you into the present moment, right here, right now. Happiness doesn't come from adding something new. It comes when you open your eyes to what's already here. The Stoics teach gratitude is not a passing feeling. It's a choice, a way of life. And maybe the greatest lesson is this: you don't need to lose something to see its value. You can begin appreciating it today. Because sometimes happiness is as simple as sitting down, taking one deep breath, and whispering, "Thank you," for the gift of being alive. If this message resonates, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to follow, so together we can plant more peace and gratitude on this journey of life. Did you know? Just one small choice in the first 30 minutes after you wake up can shape the entire mood of your day. The morning is like fresh soil. You can plant seeds of peace or seeds of chaos. The Stoics called the morning sacred ground because they knew the way you begin shapes the way you live the rest of the day. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, prepared himself each morning. He reminded himself, "Today, I'll meet people who are difficult, selfish, ungrateful. But they act this way because they don't yet understand. And I can choose to meet them with understanding." He didn't avoid challenges. He trained himself to face them. Modern science agrees your first thoughts each day prime the brain, help you plan better, and keep your emotions steady. In other words, your morning is the soundtrack for the next 24 hours. The Stoics left us a simple roadmap. Expect challenges. A small reminder makes obstacles less surprising. Remind yourself of your strength. You've survived storms before. You're still here, so you can handle today. Focus on what you control. Not the weather, not other people's moods, but your own attitude, effort, and response. Before the whole world rushes in through your phone, pause and ask 3 questions. What am I grateful for today? What one small step will move me forward? How do I want to show up for others? 3 tiny questions, but they reset your day. They pull you into the present. They help you live on purpose instead of on autopilot. Picture 2 mornings. In the first, you roll over, grab your phone. Bad news, crowded inbox, endless comparison. Your chest tightens. You're already behind. In the second, you breathe deeply for a few minutes. You write down one thing you're grateful for. You remind yourself today will bring difficulty, but you're strong enough to meet it. You choose one action to move forward. 2 mornings, 2 worlds. When you master your morning, you don't just start lighter. You're teaching your brain you are in control. Not the news, not social media, not someone else's mood. You. And when you do that, every day, life slowly feels less chaotic. Peace stops being a luxury. It becomes a habit. Every morning is a new beginning. You can let the world flood your mind, or you can plant seeds of peace, of intention, of strength. The Stoics believed the way you start the day shapes the way you live it. So the real question each morning is, what seed do I want to plant in my mind today? Too often we wait for happiness, like it's some random gift falling from the sky, but it never seems to come. The truth is, happiness isn't random. It's not an accident. It's a choice, a habit, a practice repeated every single day. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics already knew this. They lived through war plagues loss. Their world was harsher than ours, but they refused to let hardship steal their peace. Instead, they gave us 7 guiding lights: live in harmony with nature, take the view from above, find freedom by letting go, build inner strength, turn pain into purpose, practice gratitude, and master the morning. This isn't just philosophy to read. It's a toolkit for living. You don't have to practice all 7. Just choose one. Try it for 7 days and watch how life begins to shift. For example, if you choose master, the morning spend 5 minutes breathing, write one thing you're grateful for, and set an intention for your day. Or if you choose gratitude for challenges, write down one difficulty you faced and ask, what is it teaching me? Small steps, but over time, they reshape the way you live. Remember, the Stoics didn't invent these principles in times of ease. They forged them in the fire of hardship. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during war and plague. Epictetus lived as a slave under brutal oppression. Their lives were far from perfect, but their inner strength was unshakable, and from it, they found lasting joy. Like steel forged in fire, we are forged in adversity. If you learn to stand firm, hardship stops being an enemy. It becomes a teacher, because happiness isn't out there. It's not in your bank account, not in someone else's approval, not in a perfect circumstance. Happiness lives in your hands, in your thoughts, in your responses, in the small daily commitments that strengthen your inner life. You can't control everything. You can't escape loss or pain, but you can always choose how to live through them. The Stoics whisper across the centuries, happiness is not something you find, it's something you build. So today, what seed will you plant? A seed of peace, of freedom, of gratitude. In the end, your life isn't decided by what happens to you. It's shaped by how you choose to live each day. And maybe the most important lesson is this: happiness is in your hands, in your mind, and in the small daily acts that make your soul strong. If this message touches you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to follow, so together we can plant more seeds of peace in this life.